I already made a video about the top 10 biggest aeroplanes, but I know most of y'all have been wondering which are the top 10 cheapest aeroplane, but I actually did some research about aeroplanes that actually people can afford, and I've even gone to the sites, and I will be able to show you. If you want to buy an aeroplane, this is the best video for you. Watch the whole entire video. First of all, before I start the video, let me just make this shit clear. If you want to buy an aeroplane that is cheap, you cannot get an aeroplane that has a jet engine. So all the aeroplanes in this list do not have jet engines, and most of them do not have twin turbines, two engines, because they're more expensive. The more they, be sure to watch the whole video, like, share, subscribe, share, and if this video helped you out in some way, be sure to leave a like, subscribe. Yeah, let's get it. So the first aeroplane in my list is the Cessna 150. Okay, so the Cessna 150 is actually, if you didn't know, this is the 5th most produced aeroplane in this world, with I think around 23,839 produced so far, and its production was actually from 1958 to 1977. So this is a very old aeroplane, but it's being flown up to today. And you know, if the aeroplanes are a lot in this world, obviously it's going to be cheaper because there are many. It's just
really, nigga.
So one thing you need to know about this aeroplane, actually, I can't really remember the year. There's a time where Cessna 150 landed in the let me say crashed into the lawn of the White House. It was an apparent suicide, and the person was shot. I've forgotten the name of the person. So if you have this aeroplane, this is an aeroplane which is very, let me say, common. This is a train aeroplane, so many people use this aeroplane to train. And let me tell you something crazy about this aeroplane that maybe people don't know. It was one flown from the United States of America to South Africa using a series of flights, which is actually crazy. There's this Cessna I found, which costs actually I can't remember the price. Here's a screenshot of it. Yeah, you see, it's very cheap to find these aeroplanes, and maybe if you live in another country it might be harder because you're going to have to import it, but if you live, I think, somewhere in the West, this is what it costs to buy this aeroplane. Next aeroplane is also a Cessna. It's a Cessna 172, which is actually the most produced aeroplane in this world, with I think 44,000 built so far. And one thing you didn't know about this is that it's still in production, so you can go ahead and just buy it all the way from Cessna itself. So which is actually cool. You get a brand new aeroplane, but with all the same features. Another thing, it was produced since 1956. Up to today, it's still being produced, which is something crazy. Which means it's actually the most successful aeroplane in this world ever. There's no other aeroplane, I think, in the skies than this one. Everywhere you go, every country, every place, you're always going to meet a Cessna 172. One of the few aeroplanes that uses keys actually, so it's actually kind of easy to steal it. You just go get a key, you steal it. It's also very small, so it's easy. Yeah, and it has a total speed of current, I think 16 kilometers per hour. So this aeroplane is a very good aeroplane to fly. If you want to buy an aeroplane, I suggest Cessna 172. It's the cheapest, easiest flight trainer. Every pilot has flown this. If you're a pilot, you already know about this aeroplane. I don't even know I'm telling you this, but be sure check out the other aeroplanes. There's this aeroplane that I think is the best, but we'll get to that soon. Okay, so the next aeroplane is the Eurocoup, which is actually the only aeroplane that was built in this list that was built before World War II. It was first built in 1937. So this aeroplane has been used in combat before. It is trusted. In fact, it is used mostly by sports pilots. And I know maybe you're watching this aeroplane and you're thinking, how am I even going to learn how to fly an aeroplane? So let me just tell you, it's going to be very simple. These aeroplanes that are in this list are very simple to fly. And let me tell you one story that maybe will bring that motivation side back. Actually, Jessica Cox was the first person ever to fly an aeroplane without any arms. And the first aeroplane she flew was the Eurocoup. So if you think maybe it's going to be difficult, trust me, it's not going to be difficult. It's just all about you being persistent. And yeah, so that's the Eurocoup, and it costs around It has a top speed of 213 kilometers per hour, which is actually good considering it has only 75 horsepower. 75 horsepower for an aeroplane, actually, that's too little. But actually, it only carries 2 passengers, and I think the maximum takeoff weight is around maybe 600 kgs. I'm not really sure. So that's all about the Eurocoup. So the next aeroplane is the Aeroncar Champ. I'm not really sure if that's how you say it. The Aeroncar Champ, which
Aeroncar Champion.
Actually, there are only 10,000 of these aeroplanes built, and they started building this aeroplane in 1946, which is just 2 years after the World War II. So all these aeroplanes in this world, in this list, actually, all these aeroplanes in this list are aeroplanes that have previously been used in war. Most of them were used, like the Cessna 172, and all the other aeroplanes were used for flight surveillances. Like, I think the Cessna 172 was used for surveillancing passengers, maybe prisoners when they're being ferried. Yeah, this is the work. These are mostly what these aeroplanes are used for, because they really can't do that much. This aeroplane was designed for flight training, and it has never exceeded a speed of 213 kilometers per hour, which is actually good for an aeroplane like this, considering most of these aeroplanes do not even have 200 horsepower. So which is good, and it's a very good aeroplane. It looks good, yeah, and it flies good. It's an aeroplane from 1946 with 10,000 built so far. So let's go. This is an aeroplane I found. Okay, so the next one is the Lusom 8, which actually I think is the funniest looking out of all these ones. It looks most like, let me say, they wanted maybe to make it look like a Rolls Royce, because look at that type of grill. It looks almost like a Rolls Royce, but it teased into one. Yeah, but it looks like an aeroplane from the car. So this aeroplane, I think there are 5,000 made, and if there are many, yeah, cheaper. So this aeroplane has a top speed, I think, of 208 kilometers per hour, and actually this is the other aeroplane this is that was made before World War II, so has been already used in war. Yeah, this is the Lusom 8, has been used in World War II. I'm really sure about that, and it's still being continued to be used up to today. So if you have this aeroplane, bro, feel lucky. Okay, so the next aeroplane is the Beechcraft Model 777, aka the Skipper, which is actually there are only 312 built so far of this aeroplane, which is actually a few, considering the fact that if there are 312, obviously the price is going to be much higher than the others, but still a good aeroplane. It's a Beechcraft, used from 1977 to 1993, so they're no longer being produced, so you can only buy it from someone else. The top speed of just below 200 kilometers per hour, I think it's 195 kilometers per hour, which is actually good for this aeroplane. If just imagine you spend $20,000 and you have your own aeroplane, it's perfect. It's just perfect. And it has a normal range of around 700 kilometers, which I think is the best out of all these aeroplanes. But it's actually a good aeroplane too, and it mostly is used for flight training, and maybe I've not heard of it being used as a military aeroplane, but if it has, you can comment down below. I really wanna know. But yeah, that's the model 77, I think, Skipper. Next aeroplane is the Stinson 108, yeah, with 5,000 built, yeah, which is a lot, and one of the few aeroplanes that was used just for the purpose of being owned privately. It wasn't made for flight training, even though it might be used maybe. And this is the Stinson 108. It was made for private ownership, so it is the perfect aeroplane for you, Stinson 108, according to me. And it costs only, which is perfect for a person who's just buying an aeroplane for the first time. This is the perfect aeroplane for you, according to me. That's why I saved this one for the last aeroplane, the Stinson 108. Yeah, if you need anything concerning, if you need more inquiries, please DM me or comment down below. I might be able to reach you out there. And thank you for watching the video. I'll be doing more follow-up videos on this and more videos like this. If this is what you like, leave a like, share, subscribe, comment. And before I leave, I need to tell you all these aeroplanes, one of these aeroplanes, they're cheap, and maybe most of them are very old, but technology has come so far. These aeroplanes you can put up maybe your own type of, like, you just can pimp it. You can put your own screens, your own displays, you can modify the engine and shit. Maybe, yeah, that's all about. See you in the next video.